we're Chase Atlantic, and we're hanging out with Rob on Front Row Live.
You guys have been on my radar for quite some time now. You guys dropped recently your newest EP, Don't Try This, and I'm digging it. Take me into the studio creating this EP and like what makes it so different from previous work.
Do you want to, Clinton? You talk about the actual studio behind it, and then we'll talk about the meaning of the EP.
I like this teamwork right now.
Thank you. The EP was created like in gaps and spaces and bosses and all the different places pretty much. It was all over the road. We just toured so much last year. We played like 200 shows last year, and we were just constantly on the road. So we produced like a lot of vocals on the bus. We produced one of the verses in a ferry between like the UK and Europe.
Damn.
2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, it was just really on the go. Like there was no professional studio to mix in. We just mixed mainly in headphones, and yeah, it was pretty wild. So it's really a body of work that it's a body of work that I don't know.
It's very it was very chaotic and rogue. You know what I mean?
But that's how we felt at the time. That's
Yeah.
what we the whole year of
That's what I
touring.
Yeah.
And yeah, 150 shows, just constantly moving, traveling, and so it's a chaotic EP that represents exactly how we were feeling at the time.
Right.
Yeah.
Which was just utter methodical chaos. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know if there's slightly methodical.
Slightly methodical. It was kind of, yeah, it wasn't
Just-
super planned.
This wasn't super methodical. I feel like as well the EP was kind of stemming off of our debut album,
Yeah.
and we had all this kind of we had all these types of songs that were darker and a little more risque, if you want to say.
Right.
And we kind of
If you can say.
and we kind of channeled it into this EP. We wanted to make very specific. You know what I mean? Like we had songs like U2 and Lost on it, which to help kind of ease up on the heavier stuff.
Right.
But the EP itself was very us tapping into the darker themes that we had going on
Right.
in our lives, because that's where our brains were at the time being. And so making the EP for us was beautiful, because we finally got to get it out of our systems, express all that kind of channeled energy that we had, all that build up, and the fans as well. Like we wanted to give them something they could be like, they look back at it
Right.
in the future and go, that EP was hard. Like
Do you feel that with this EP, because you kind of released the dark side of you guys, do you feel like that's kind of a direction where the band is kind of going?
the thing is, it may have been a trick.
Okay. All right.
I guess we can do whatever we kind of like and how we feel, but after being pretty relaxed and having a few months off, we're just in a really good mind frame. And we just want to make, I guess at the moment, really beautiful songs. Still,
Yeah.
obviously,
The content of the lyrical content hasn't changed. It's not like,
yeah,
well, I'm happy now all the time. I'm gonna have problems now. These songs are gonna be unrelatable.
yeah. No, it's still.
We're still using tapping into that energy that we've accumulated over the last 2 years, basically.
And we've always been about each project being different to the last. We never want something to sound too similar in a way. Like if you look at, Nostalgia and Dalliance being pretty much completely separate as well, and then that compared to the album, and then the EP, everything has just been a growth and different. And I think that's how it'll always be. We'll always gradually change and grow, and depending on our mood, that's how the music sounds.
And the thing is as well, with a lot of artists, I feel like it can be easily portrayed as we're unsure of what we're doing. But the thing is, we're so certain with what we're doing that, and we do everything ourselves. So it's not like we have different producers for different albums. That's why the album
You guys
sounds
have been
different.
the same as far
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
the production.
So we can
goes.
be as creatively expressive as we want to be. So I feel like it's kind of fun to kind of mess with people
Right.
and just like switch on them
Right.
instantly. You know what I mean? Because we have the ability to do that.
You can do it. Yeah.
So like we just want to give them something dark, gritty, and like some that we created a whole mood and theme based around that EP. People have like tattoos on their skin based on that EP for the rest of their lives. I love that because it'll always be something that's like a memory. You know what I mean? Like something that I remember. Like we made this badass EP,
Right.
and it felt so good.
And it's crazy because the EP is still relatively fresh. It's been only
so
out
fresh.
for a couple months.
We're very quick workers. So
So did the chaotic like tours make you guys want to create this EP, or was this EP just did it just happen just by accident?
I think we just wanted to get music out there and like a body of work again. So it wasn't like completely it wasn't an accident, but it wasn't planned to be done professionally either. It was
Yeah.
just as much as we could do in the shortest periods of time, and yeah, it was just very on the go. It was it was literally that, and I think that's why we decided to make it an EP as well, and not
Right.
like a full length. If we would have done a full length at that time, it would have been chaotic and it wouldn't have been like true artistry. I don't think.
We had no time to sit down and think about what we were doing. You know what I mean? We would just make a song based off how we're feeling then and there, and that's what's so beautiful about it. So we had full control over it, so we could just do whatever we wanted.
Right.
The only real theme in it is just seeing red, I guess.
Yeah, just red.
Just red, because that's just
Yeah.
just what we saw and how we felt.
Yeah.
You know, we're obviously playing shows and meeting the fans is fun, but when you're just constantly moving and you're never comfortable and you're never in one spot, it can kind of create chaos.
Demon.
And
It's
angry
like
and
it's like
demons,
it's like an EP of demons, really.
and that's the kind of mind frame
That's what we're in, yeah.
Yeah.
And we made it because that's how we were feeling,
Right.
and that's what we're always going to keep doing. Is we're going to keep making music depending on how we're feeling.
It's cool too because you don't sacrifice anything on this EP. It does sound like you went into a studio. It does sound like you
Yeah.
took the time to like kind of create it. So I'm actually surprised that you guys did it on a ferry
Yeah.
or like while traveling or
It's
all
very,
that.
it's very kind of instinctual for us. You know what I mean? Like we instinctively like just express ourselves when we're creating music.
Right.
We have a set goal and we stick to it.
Right.
It was doing the most evil song as well, Devilish, screaming the scariest
Yeah.
song on the ferry. 2 a.m. People trying to sleep
Yeah,
and
like-
he's screaming up Devilish like.
So another thing that really caught my attention early on with you guys is I love the incorporation of the saxophone. And I don't think many people can accomplish that today. Like, what kind of inspired the saxophone to be part of this project, and how did it first come out?
I always played the saxophone, so it wasn't too difficult just to like pick it up and start figuring out how to improvise all the music. I guess because the style changed from a little bit more of a pop rock sound to more of a alternative, R&B sound, kind of made sense to bring out the saxophone again, and I guess just figuring out ways to mold it in there without it like being too tacky or too.
I feel like as well it showcases our true
Right.
instrument and musicality. You know what I mean?
Right.
The fact that we're able to incorporate instruments like saxophone, like Clinton's such a good saxophonist,
Right.
it shows that it's not just thrown together with like there's sensibility behind it.
It's the secret weapon, really.
Yeah.
It's the special sauce. It's that signature McDonald's sauce on the Big Mac that
The
just
special one.
is a reason it all gels together so well.
Right. Because you don't do it too much. You don't do it. It's not. It's just right. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, and it's kind of fun to like not. It's fun playing it, but it's also fun to like play the guitar sometimes, lead
Right.
guitar, and it's not like I don't like people focusing on the one thing in particular as one person being this or that,
Right.
especially as a band that does so much ourselves.
Right.
I don't want to be put in like a label like
Yeah.
other bands. We're not like your typical other rock band you'd like
Right.
see on the radio or hear on the radio or TV, and yeah, I think we want to be known for everything that we do, and that's why we keep it as much as we do and as little as we do, and
Right.
that's what it is.
It sucks when people like walk up and they go, "Oh, you're the guitarist from you're the singer from Chase Atlantic. You're the dude who plays saxophone in Chase Atlantic."
Yeah.
It's like we do so much more than just
Yeah.
these things.
It's just Chase Atlantic.
It's just Chase Atlantic. Like we
Chase Atlantic.
work. We just work, and it's like to play shows we obviously have to like put ourselves in certain positions, otherwise it'd be a mess.
Right. Right.
But like I hate like being labeled as like a singer.
A
Like
singer guy.
like it's just like a lead singer. I don't like the term lead
Yeah.
singer. I can't stand it.
What is the creative process with you guys though? Like when you guys get together to create new music, like I'm sure it's like it changes with every song, but like is there this common factor that happens every time you guys get together?
Yeah, I mean, I guess the instruments and that all happens first in Ableton, but like this album that we're working on is actually a process that we haven't really done before, where we came to America with like 12 or 14 instrumentals made back home in Cairns, or even Mitchell made some at the end of last year. So we go into the studio and then from Ableton we put it into Logic, and that's where Clinton kind of structures it, makes it a more kind of coherent piece.
Yeah.
And then this new way that we've been doing it is just sending Mitchell to the booth.
Send him
Just send him into the booth, and we're like, sing for us, sing a song. But it's been working really well, real quick.
It's very cohesive. I think we're able to keep it very cohesive because we share the same brain.
Right.
We've spent so much time together that all of our kind of instincts on what we think sounds good is very
On par.
Our instincts is in sync. How's that? Thank you.
You need to get one.
How do you feel like the Nonstop touring from last year kind of impacted the way that you guys are considering this new album?
I think we definitely think about the live aspect when going into the records a little bit more, but at the same time it's good because when you're playing as a band so much, you do learn that there's structures more to the instruments and how they fit together, and maybe we can incorporate some of that into our our new music and stuff like that. I think the amount that we toured last year compared to nothing this year has been a good break for an album, but it is a little bit weird. I think it would be nice to have a little bit more stability in between both worlds, but look, it is what it is, and it's going to make us what we do, so I can't complain about it.
Right. Now, as you guys are working on this sophomore album, how different do you feel the evolution has been from your debut album?
We're fully honed in now. Like
Yeah.
our debut album was a compilation of songs we've been making over the course of 3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah,
4
4
years.
years. And so it wasn't really. We'd had so much time with those songs
Right.
that they'd lost to us and not to anyone else. You become numb to how it makes you feel
Like the
emotionally, the
emotions
emotions
from
that
it,
it
yeah.
evokes. So that was putting that album out was a real justifying feeling, but at the same time, it didn't feel like the most special thing in the whole world because it wasn't a coherent piece.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Also releasing it with the part 1 and the part 2 and the part 3, and when the full length came out, and there was 7 songs that people have already
Yeah.
heard before. This is a 100% never heard before piece of a project that had a theme, and we went into it with an idea, and we completed the songs and wrote
Yeah.
the songs all in one sitting.
And we're so much more confident now in what we're doing because we've had the justification of other people saying the music's good.
Right.
So we learned that if we can come this far from following our intuition, we just gotta follow it even further.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Now you guys mentioned earlier that you guys had that sound change or style change. What was it about the change that made you guys want the sound that you guys are creating today?
I think with the genre that we are now, there's multiple genres. It's not one genre in particular,
Right.
but you're able to be more expressive as a musician. I think you're not limited to just singing like a selective, like pop melody or in a certain dynamic range. I think there's room to be very expressive,
Right.
very soulful, and I guess we're just mixing that up with good sounding music, and that's all it really is.
I'm gonna say it. Genres is dead.
Yeah, you heard that. We ain't never said that before.
We're like I said earlier, we're just very confident in the music we're making now that we don't even we're not even aware of the type of music we're making at this
Right.
point. We're just making music. We don't even know what genre it is. I'm
Right.
pretty sure it's a brand new genre that we just made.
That's the future, The
Yeah.
future is fusion. People have heard the same genres for, throughout time. From classics and stuff to jazz, and it's about, I guess, the way that we see it is from these guys and their classical training and the jazz influences that they had mixed
Your
with like the rock.
background.
And now that we all kind of got into R&B and hip hop and stuff together, just became this beautiful fusion of genres and styles that just works really well for us, I think.
Yeah, and I think as well, because we have released the music in the past that has shown darker sides of us. You know what I mean? Edgier sides of us. That say are we allowed to speak about the album? We allowed to speak about the new record, Cozy. Alright, I won't touch it. Maybe.
Whenever you guys want.
I feel like
Up to you guys.
I feel like because of what we've done, like if we were fresh out the gates, like making this kind of music, we'd be really second guessing ourselves. We're like, wow, what are we doing?
Right.
But because we've already done the things we wanted to do, we're so confident in this new music. It's like the best. It's like finally being set free of some curse or
Yeah.
something. I don't know.
Now, you guys talked about this a few months back, and I'm curious if it's going to happen on this album. Youngblood collaboration. Is that going to be part of this album?
Maybe.
I think that would be one crazy collaboration to.
We've done the
To hear.
collaboration's done.
The song's
Okay.
finished.
Song's
It's
finished.
a good song.
What was it like being in the studio with him? Were you able to?
We were on the bus with
Yeah,
him.
he's
He
our-
shut
he's our
out bus.
boy.
He was our bus buddy for the whole Warped Tour, and we had a studio in the back of the bus.
He just came in. I think he had already written the chorus line with Taz Taylor or something, and then he came in and we put it over a beat that Mitchell had made, and he was a pretty easy person. Clinton would have had fun recording him. He's got a nice tone. He just kept.
He wouldn't stop yelling at me. He did.
He's a good kid though.
Yeah,
he's got so much energy. And he's always bouncing off the walls.
Yeah.
Like I always thought that I was kind of a bit of a crazy person, but then I was like, this guy's next level. I felt sleepy all the time,
Yeah.
and I was just next to him.
Yeah,
He's-
that's crazy.
He's really he's smart as well because we were talking about this with on Adobe, but he speaks things into existence. Like he'll be like, I've got this song, I'm gonna make this song. Halsey's gonna be on this song. A few months later, boom, Halsey's on a song. But also his bandmates as well, great dudes.
Yeah.
It was a great tour.
It was very easy.
Well,
Very easy.
Hopefully one day we'll do some tour with him again, but for now we'll let him do his thing and we'll do our thing, and then maybe we'll meet up again sometime.
Yeah. Were you say something?
I was just going back to it. Yeah, he was a really nice boy. I got on really well with him. I feel like we were very actually similar, but like when you look at us, we're the complete opposite because I'm very quiet and low key, and he's the opposite. But we actually, when we hung out, we got on really well, and I felt very connected musically and as a person with him. So yeah, he's a great guy.
We're very good friends. Like we were kissing each other on stage every day, for no reason. Just for no reason. Sober, middle of the day, just kissing each other.
Shit, not even on stage. Just smooching.
Now here's one collaboration which is probably left field, but I would love to put it in existence with you guys. You guys and Billie Eilish. I feel like that would be something so interesting,
Spot on, man.
and I don't know. I feel like that could
I
work.
feel like she's cool because
She's great.
it's so contrasting between the type of music she makes
Right.
and the way she presents herself.
Right.
It's so much fun to see. Like
She's a genius.
she like radiates confidence. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
She's
And
so smart.
and she's so
So
smart.
busy. She's
So
so busy.
busy. She's so
If you guys
smart.
are watching this, you gotta hit up Billy. Send her this video. We would absolutely love to just make a song. Even just make a song and write a song with her. Doesn't even necessarily have to be a collaboration. But I just would love to just watch her work and listen to her voice in the studio as well. It'd be a dream collab kind of at the moment. Yeah.
Don't Try This EP is out now. You guys are currently working on sophomore album. What else is in the books right now for 2019? Any more touring? You guys want to focus on the record?
We have touring. That's all I'm gonna say. We have touring.
We have tours and shows.
we will be touring.
Cool.
That's it.
All right.
Just keep your eyes peeled. You know how it works. You know what happens when there's a thing and there's another thing and things happen. Look, we are not. We're not going into it. We're not being like we are being vague, but there's stuff, and these things will happen.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for finally hanging out with me. You guys be sure to check out Chase Atlantic. Get the new EP. Don't Try This. And thanks for watching on Front Row Live.
Yeah.